game is dying, they all cry, now I'm a little scared. What the hell, I just bought this game, now you're telling me it's dead, that's really lame. What do I do with all these cards? Maybe sell them at a sale in my yard. It looked like it might be something fun to play. Saw it on the shelf and brought it home that day. Opened the box, beat a rhino and was hooked. Now it might be dead and I am shook. What the hell, I just bought this game, now you're telling me it's dead, that's really lame. What do I do with all these cards? Maybe sell them at a sale.
I'll never ever come back from this, cause I was caught off guard.
Hey guys, welcome back to another live play another caught off guard live play. I'm Wasteland Sniper, and tonight I am going to be taking Bishop up against the mansion attack scenario. This is actually a multiple villain scenario, so I've got these 4 different villains that I'm going to have to work my way through. Since we are playing just standard, I only need to take out 2 of them. I did shuffle them already, but now I can, like, by showing you, I know what's coming up next, so I'm going to shuffle them again. This scenario also has multiple main schemes for 2A, and as you can see down here where the number is, it's just question marks. And the reason for that is so that we don't know which one of these main schemes is going to be the one that we're getting. They all do different things. Ultimately, what ends up happening is if these complete and go into the victory display, once I hit a certain number of them in the victory display, I end up losing. So we're going to try our best to keep these from completing. The thing that tells us what to do with those, I think, is here. So save the school is an environment. After the villain is defeated, if there are X villains in the victory display, the players win the game. This is where you would go check the rule book to see how many that is. I already checked it before. It's 2. I need to defeat 2 of the villains in order to win. Otherwise, deal each player an encounter card and reveal the next villain. If a minion with the same title as the new villain is engaged with a player, discard that minion and the villain activates against that player. So I guess that's not the one that tells me what happens with these. I think, actually... which one is... I think it actually might be on these, now that I think about it. But for setup, we put the save the school environment into play, shuffle all copies of main scheme 2A, and stack them under this scheme, and then shuffle the villains together without looking to create the villain deck. The top card of this deck is in play. So we're going to shuffle these really quick. I am staring up at the ceiling, which is not terribly interesting, but... okay, so we'll stop there. What do I got? Oh, I got Toad. Alright, so he's got Toughness and Victory 2, and after Toad attacks and damages a character you control, discard 1 random card from your hand. Ooh, that's kind of nasty. Though not as painful with Bishop as it is with a lot of other heroes. I'm going to get into why in just a second. I'm going to shuffle these up again. It's so hard to shuffle just a few cards. I hate shuffling just a few cards because you just never feel like you're getting a good shuffle. Okay, so we'll leave that. Alright, and save the school is there. Alright, so let's talk about the deck that I put together. These are not all the allies I have in the deck, these are just some highlights. So, if you're unfamiliar with Bishop, Bishop is kind of interesting. So he came in Age of Apocalypse, and the other hero that was in that box was Magik. Magik is very cool. Don't get me wrong. She's definitely a hero I need to spend more time with. She's, for people who have played the Lord of the Rings card game that Fantasy Flight used to produce, they, like anybody who's ever played that game, they know Magik is basically Marvel Gandalf. And the reason is because in the Lord of the Rings LCG, Gandalf can play with the top card of his deck visible. And Magik does that when she's on her hero side. So that lends itself to a whole bunch of different crazy things that you can do with Magik. And she's super interesting. It's just, when that was announced, there was a guy who was in my usual, at the time, Marvel Champions group. Now I actually have a couple of them. I have a couple of different groups that play games together, mostly Marvel Champions. But anyway, that first group, there was a guy in the group. He's since moved away, which is unfortunate, because he was a really nice guy. He was fun to play with. But he was a big fan of Magik. Really, really liked the character Magik. And so as soon as I told him that Magik was revealed as one of the heroes that was going to be entering the game, with, her own, essentially pack, or her own hero set, he was super excited about that and immediately decided that she was going to be his main. And so I didn't really think too much about building decks with Magik, because I knew that she was kind of his hero that he was going to be playing with all the time. Not to say I couldn't play her, solo at home, but there was also like the added thing where I was just really excited about Bishop. I don't really know anything about Bishop as a character, but the mechanic for Bishop is one that I really, really liked. I liked the idea of. And first off, let's take a look at his alter ego site. So he's got 4 recovery. He's a mutant and he's temporal. His ability is temporally displaced, and it's a response. After you change to this form, add a temporal card in your discard pile to your hand. So this is one of those things that I have to watch myself with, because I have a bad habit. I have had a bad habit in the past of, I'll read a card about halfway and then think I know what the rest of it's going to say, and then I'm completely wrong. But that's like just based off of experience with the game. And I always, like, when I've been playing him in the past, I get to the point where after you change to this form, add a temporal card in your discard pile, and then I just think, oh, to your deck, like shuffle it into your deck. No, it goes into your hand. And there have been so many times that I've kind of like screwed myself over by shuffling the card that I grabbed out of his discard pile right back into his deck, and didn't realize it until much later in the game, when it's like, oh wow, that could have actually really helped me at this point. Usually that's his uniform. So, yeah, I need to remind myself, read the whole card, and it goes into your hand, not into your deck. Alright, so Bishop Hero, he's 2 thwart, 2 attack, and 1 defense. Still temporal, but now he's X-Men. Energy absorption. Response. After Bishop takes any amount of damage from an attack, discard an equal number of cards from the top of your deck. Add each resource card discarded this way to your hand. So, as you might be able to figure out from that, Bishop really likes resource cards. Resource cards are a big thing for him. This deck alone, if you want to look it up, the link is in the description, has 15 15 resource cards. It's a 50 card deck. And normally I don't do 50 card decks. I'm not a 40 card deck purist. I will, go above, but typically when I start getting around 45 cards, I'm like, I really just need to start cutting stuff. But for this particular deck, I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw in as many resources as I feel like are useful for this particular scenario. And I also want a bunch of allies in there. And then I also wanted all 3 copies for both of these cards of To Me My X-Men and Mutant Mayhem. So To Me My X-Men is a 1-cost event. You can only play it if you have the X-Men trait, and it's a hero action. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for an X-Men ally and put it into play. If that ally is still in play at the end of the phase, add it to your hand. So this is great. This just allows me to get somebody down to do something. And I'll go over the reason why these guys, I'm highlighting these guys specifically, because they actually trigger off of this card being put into play. And then Mutant Mayhem is a 3-cost event. It's an alliance card, so if I was playing with other people, they could help me pay for it, but Bishop's so rich, he doesn't care. He can pay for everything. It's Mutant Mayhem, hero action. Choose an X-Force ally and an X-Men ally and return them to their owner's hands. Those players play those allies, ignoring their resource costs. Now, this does want to see X-Force allies as well. I do have some X-Force allies in here, but not enough for it to trigger very consistently, which is why I've also got this Children of the Atom support, which is each X-Factor, X-Force, and X-Men character you control gains the X-Factor, X-Force, and X-Men traits. So this basically gives every single ally that is in my deck all 3 of those traits, which is going to make it a lot easier to trigger Mutant Mayhem. Now, as for these particular allies, the reason that I'm kind of highlighting them is because when you put them into play, they do something. So, like Phoenix, after she enters play, choose an X-Men ally, ready that ally, and heal 1 damage from it. So that can definitely be very useful. Professor X, after Professor X enters play, choose 1, confuse the villain, stun a minion, or ready an X-Men character. Very versatile. He does leave play at the end of the round, so he's also a great blocker because he's not going to be there anyway. So you throw the old man in the wheelchair in front of the attack. That's the vision I get whenever I see like blocking with Professor X, and it never fails to make me laugh. Now we've got Caliban. After Caliban enters play, discard cards from the top of your deck until an X-Factor, X-Force, or X-Men ally is discarded, and then add that ally to your hand. While they're in your deck, they technically don't fall under this Children of the Atom because they're not in play, but every single ally in this deck is either X-Men or X-Force. The only X-Factor allies that I know of in the game, or that I can think of off the top of my head, are... let's see. Multiple Man is one, and the other is also... It's also a protection ally. Multiple Man's a protection ally. I can't remember his name, though. I can see the card, I can see the card art, but I can't remember his name for some reason. But anyway, yeah. So neither of them will work in this deck because they're not leadership cards. We've got Triage. After Triage enters play, heal 2 damage from an X-Men character, so that'll be very useful. I'll mostly be using that to heal myself. Cyclops. After Cyclops enters play, choose an enemy. Until the end of the phase, increase the amount of damage that enemy takes from each attack by 1. Now, Cyclops is interesting because if I can bounce Cyclops in and out of play multiple times, that +1 damage for each attack stacks. So I play him once, I use Mutant Mayhem to bring him back to hand, and then he's played out again. And now it's +2 to every attack on, whoever it is you chose, like say Toad. So that can go crazy really fast, and there's nothing that puts a ceiling on that. If you can figure out how to keep bouncing him in and out of play, he'll just keep adding damage forever. So Cyclops is pretty cool. Not an ally that I played a whole lot with, because leadership is not an aspect that I've played much with. I have been playing more with it recently, just because I think leadership has gotten a lot more interesting recently. It used to be, mostly ally flood or Voltroning an ally, and now I think there are like a bunch of more interesting ways to use leadership, or at least there's other ways where leadership it's kind of growing on me. Like, I started out really liking leadership, and then I kind of moved to protection being my favorite, and leadership I'm just kind of like, it's kind of boring. But now I'm kind of leaning back into leadership, and I'm having a really good time with it. Leadership is actually a lot of fun. But my last ally that I really want to highlight is Pixie. And the reason is because Pixie, after you play Pixie from your hand, so she's not going to work actually with Mutant Mayhem, but she is kind of important because after you play her from your hand, you get to add an X-Men ally from your discard pile to your hand. So that will come in very useful. Another thing that I decided, I added X-Mansion Utopia and Cerebro. Cerebro is another way that I can go digging for allies in the deck, which is nice. But it has kind of an added bonus. So X-Mansion and Cerebro are both alter ego actions. So you can see there. So when I'm in hero form, these are functionally useless. I can't use them for anything. But they both have that X-Men trait there, as you can see. And because of that will actually help me with one of my resource cards. And we're going to go through the resource cards now really quick, and then we're going to get into the game. So of course I have the 3 basic doubles. Those have to be in there. These are Bishop's 3 resource cards that are actually included as part of his kit. Then we've of course got 2 Power of Leaderships. I have a Band Together, because hopefully I'll be able to keep at least some allies in play fairly consistently. We'll see how that actually goes. An Innovation, which is after you spend this card, heal 1 damage for an ally you control. I can only have 1 of these in the deck. I've got 2 copies of Effective Leadership, which is when you spend this card to play an ally, that ally gets +1 thwart and +1 attack until the end of the phase. So that will be useful as I'm playing my allies. And then I've got 3 copies of Organizational Support, and this is where the fact that these two supports have X-Men as a trait. This is why that is important, is because Organizational Support is a resource with an interrupt. When you spend this card, exhaust up to 3 allies and or supports you control that share a trait with your identity. Generate the printed resources on each card exhausted this way. So because of that in hero form, that gives me 2 extra resources whenever I have Organizational Support in my hand, which makes this functionally a 3 resource card, at least. And then, if I've got, say, Pixie in play and I don't plan on using her for anything else, I could exhaust her for this, and that's 4 resource. So hopefully this all ends up working together in order to kind of keep bouncing my allies in and out of play by using Mutant Mayhem and to me my X-Men, and then, you know, it will give me the opportunity to hop down into Alter Ego so that, let's say, because a big thing about him is that he's constantly discarding cards off the top of his deck when he's taking damage. It's a response, it's not a forced response, but it is helpful to do that because, let's say, yeah, I'm going to be upset if I, you know, discard Bishop's Uniform, but at the same time, I can jump down to Alter Ego and then use his ability to bring this to my hand. And now I know, okay, so I've got Bishop's Uniform, which I think is the most important part of his kit. Like, Bishop's Uniform is absolutely, like, it's insanely important to get out as early in the game as you possibly can, and this is why. It's a 2-cost upgrade after you resolve Bishop's Energy Absorption ability, which is his, you know, discarding off the top of the deck. Exhaust Bishop's Uniform and heal 1 damage from Bishop for each resource card in your hand. So, if you take, let's say, 3 damage, and then you discard those 3 cards and 2 of them come up as resources, but you've already got like 4 resources in your hand. Now you have 6 resources in your hand, and with Bishop's Uniform, you've just healed 6 points. So for taking 3 damage, you were able to heal the 3 damage that you took, and then an extra 3. So Bishop's Uniform is really important. Also, very useful, especially if you get, you know, that handful of resources, is Bishop's Rifle. Because you exhaust Bishop's Rifle and choose an enemy, deal 1 damage to that enemy for each resource card in your hand. This attack gains ranged. So, I am so glad that this doesn't have a cap on it, because really, any amount of resources that you have in your hand, like if you were somehow able to draw every single resource in this deck into your hand, Bishop's Rifle just exhausted and did 15 damage. So, it's crazy. I haven't gotten it to do that, but I'm sure that there are people who can figure out how to do that. I'm not one of those people, but anyway, let's get on with the game. I have 1 more day of work this week, and then, I'm so excited. If you play the game at all, if you've been following it at all, you know that this is the week that the Fear No Evil box comes out with Daredevil, the most anticipated, I would say, hero in the game, like by far, and Echo, which is, I think, a character not many people really know unless they read the comics. I guess there was a really terrible Disney show about it. I don't have Disney Plus, so I haven't seen it, but I have not heard good things about it. But anyway, Echo looks very good. Like, just mechanically speaking, she looks interesting. And I'm super excited to give her a try, especially so that I can at least try the cards in her pre-con. Once I always play the pre-con. I always play the pre-con at least once. I might modify it just slightly if there are cards included in it where it's like, you know, max 1 per player. It's like, I don't need 3 copies of that card in this deck. You know, of course, the reason that they include the 3 copies is because they have to include a full play set. For those types of cards, I will tweak it. I will take the excess cards out and replace them with something else. But I always play the pre-con with at least 1 copy of every single card that came with that hero, because I want to try all the cards. I don't want to be one of those people who just decides, oh, this card looks terrible, and never actually uses it. I've found over the years of playing, I've actually found some really interesting combos with cards that I would not have otherwise found because it was a card that, is generally not considered very good, or it's not a card that I would normally play, but, because I gave it a try, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of useful, it's actually kind of fun. I'm going to see if I can play around with it and do some stuff with it, and, not always, but sometimes you find something that's really interesting to do with a card that most other people just, toss into their box and never look at again. I don't ever want to do that, just because I think every card has a place. Even the ones that everybody says, oh, well, that's just trash, that's awful. It's not a good card. I want to try it out and make sure that, okay, so this doesn't work for me, but I'm not going to say it doesn't work for somebody else. So I'm not the type of person who's going to put anybody down for their choice of hero or the cards that they use in their deck. Because, the reason that I play on standard is because, I'm trying janky decks that I know aren't very powerful, and oftentimes, the idea doesn't quite end up working. And the deck just falls apart as you're playing. So, a lot of it is, deck testing and seeing if it will actually work at all, and a lot of it is just, I like to play, just chill games. So, speaking of playing chill games, let's get this show on the road. I think this is pretty well shuffled. I'll shuffle this really quick. I already put his obligation in here. I did change. So normally, if you look at this card, you'll see that the modular set is Mystique. Or at least the suggested one is Mystique. I don't like the Mystique modular set. I don't like it at all. It's incredibly thematic. It very much gives Mystique vibes. I just really don't like playing it. I end up getting hit by the different cards in it at the worst possible times. And then I end up with Mystique in front of me when I can't do anything about it, and it just kind of ruins the whole experience. So for this playthrough, I decided to, instead of putting the Mystique modular set in, I actually decided to go through and put in Crazy Gang, which came in the back of Nightcrawler's deck. And Crazy Gang was one of those ones that I looked at it and I was like, okay, I gotta play this. First of all, it's Alice in Wonderland kind of themed going, which I really like. I have no idea who the Crazy Gang is, but I really enjoyed the fact that it has that kind of Alice in Wonderland theme. I always enjoyed the Alice in Wonderland, cartoon when I was a kid, the movie. I think it was a Disney movie. It was actually an animated Disney movie. I really liked, I think Johnny Depp did an Alice in Wonderland movie long time ago. Wow, it's been close to 20 years. It's got to be over 20 years, maybe. And I haven't seen it in forever, but I remember that I really liked that. And then there was a show I totally forgot about until something came up on my YouTube where it was going over old shows that how did it put it? It was something along the lines of that you think about it and you're like, okay, I know I saw this show, but when you think about what the show was about and you try to explain it to people, it's one of those things where it was they'd look at you like you're nuts and be like, there was never a show like that. That's just crazy talk. But there was actually an Alice in Wonderland show, and it actually might have been on the Disney Channel. I forget what it was called, but the video that came up actually showed that and showed a little bit of the theme song, or the opening titles and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember this, just the music coming on and Alice falling into Wonderland. That it was a live action show. I just don't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but man, I used to watch that as a kid, and I always really liked what I read from Lewis Carroll. And when I was in 5th grade, I was actually a pretty decent artist, and my teacher actually once asked me to draw a Jabberwock, like the Jabberwocky, just the head, because she wanted to put it on put it on a thing to make it look like it was mounted. And I was actually a pretty decent artist at that point in time. I've completely lost any ability to draw at this point, but yeah, that was a lot of fun drawing that. So I've always had kind of like a liking for the whole Alice in Wonderland stuff. So Crazy Gang, I thought that'll be a lot of fun to stick in here as well. Plus, it's got that added thing where one of the minions is the executioner, and if that minion attacks and defeats an ally, that ally's out of the game. It's not that they're discarded, they're completely out of the game. So that'll kind of be another thing that I have to watch out for. Not try to block the executioner with allies. But yeah, so I thought that would be a fun addition to the game. And it was, one of the extra modular sets that they were including with Heroes that actually, it really caught my attention. I was like, oh, I really like that, and I've played with it a few times, and it's fun. So that's in here. So let's get this started and make sure everything is on screen correctly. Okay, so you will notice that over here, this is blank. And that is because I have not added this in yet, because I did not know which villain we were going to end up with. So let's go add that in now. Whoops. I apparently cannot type today. I've been really tired. It's been a very long day. And he has 13 hit points. What just happened? Why? Oh, I know. Or not. Oh no! My scoreboard broke. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta look at this program. Score player 2. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. Oh my gosh, wow, how did that happen? Okay. Yeah, gotta love when the computer just decides to, you just end up fat fingering. I totally fat fingered and lost an entire line, so that's not great. Let's see. Yes, okay, it's back. I may not want to be a programmer in real life, but I am so glad that I did decide to take some programming classes, because otherwise I would not have been able to fix that. That would have been a major issue, and I would have had to have pulled out the dials and all of that stuff. So having a little bit of knowledge in programming actually comes in very useful sometimes. Alright, gotta get some water. It is so hot here. I mean, like, to me it doesn't really feel any hotter than it does every summer. There's always like a period of time here where it's like a month and a half to 2 months where it is just miserable. Especially because the AC in my house does not work. When I bought the house, the AC worked, but the problem is that the AC unit was too small for the house, and it finally like gave up the ghost, and unfortunately I can't replace it. So I've got like a portable AC unit up in my bedroom, which makes that bearable for that, month and a half to 2 months. But man, the rest of the house does not feel great, which is, unfortunate. Okay, get all my little tokens ready here. All right, so let's flip this over. So the Brotherhood strikes. Alright, when revealed, deal each player a face-down encounter card. Advance to the next card in the main scheme deck. Alright, so we have a face-down encounter card. And we are going to flip this card, so... Oh, we should probably... And this says, add this card to the victory display. That is important because if we have too many main schemes in the victory display, we lose the game. So we'll flip this card. Alright. Each character gains steady. Okay, we're in the atrium. When completed, add this scheme to the victory display. Advance to the next card in the main scheme deck. If there are 3 main schemes in the victory display, the players lose the game. So we already have 1 main scheme in the victory display right here. We definitely don't want to get any more if we can help it. I'm going to put this little token here to try to remind myself that we do have steady. This also has 1 threat on it starting out, and we've got our encounter card here. Alright, so let's draw and see what we get. We have Domino, a Concussive Blast, Innovation, okay, Pixie. Pixie's not going to be terribly useful. Stored Energy, okay, and Supercharged. This might be nice to get down pretty quick. And I know I want to keep Stored Energy. Innovation. Not super useful right now because it's, after you spend this card, heal 1 damage from an ally you control. Domino might be a good ally to get down. Just because she's got the ability, after you use one of Domino's basic powers, swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck. That could be useful. Concussive Blast. I mean, that'll just do some damage. That'll do 6 damage to Toad. Oh, speaking of, Toad is tough. Gotta make sure I remember that. And then if I pay for this event with a resource card, I can ready Bishop. But I don't think I want any of those. I think I'm going to keep digging for stuff. I'll keep these 2. I'll keep Stored Energy and Supercharged. So I'm going to get rid of these 4. So we drop 4 more cards. Ah, Bishop's Uniform. Perfect. Power of Leadership. Organizational Support. And Organizational Support. Okay, that's, man, I wish I'd kept Domino. Okay, well, let's see. I'm definitely going to use Stored Energy to play Bishop's Uniform. Supercharged. I can just discard these 3 to charge up supercharged, but I don't really want to do that right now. I actually kind of want to keep these in my hand just because I know with Bishop's Uniform, I can take a hit and then I'll just heal right back up. So I'll play down Supercharged and I'll probably just spend like an organizational support on it. So I'll give it 1 counter. And Supercharged is discard a resource card from your hand, place 1 charge counter here for each resource icon on that card. And then Hero Interrupt, when you make a basic attack, discard Supercharged. You get +2 attack for this attack for each charge counter here to a maximum of +8 attack. So I could be doing a basic attack for 10. Which is just crazy. Okay. So, yeah. So we're spending stored energy to get out Bishop's Uniform. I'm going to flip up to Bishop. There's no need for me to stay down as Lucas Bishop. And then I'll play Supercharged. And I'll throw Organizational Support, so Supercharged is going to get a counter on it. And then I'm going to hold on to these 2. Bishop is going to attack for 2 on Toad, which is going to take the tough. And that will be the end of my turn. Alright, so let's draw back up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've got it to me my X-Men. And I have a command authority, so I can deal with any threat that ends up on the atrium if I really need to. Alright, so that is going to go up by 1. It's the villain's turn. He's going to attack me for 2. And now the thing with Toad is after he attacks and damages a character you control, discard 1 random card from your hand. So I'm just going to take the hit because I've only got a 1 defense anyway. Plus this will give me the ability to, you know, I'll heal anyway with Bishop's Uniform. However much damage he does to me, it's going to be completely negated by Bishop's Uniform. But it'll also kind of get me some more, I'll get to see some more stuff going through here. Alright, so he's attacking for 2 and I'm just taking it, so 2. And it's an advance, so just 2. So I discard the X-Mansion and an Effective Leadership. Effective Leadership comes to my hand. X-Mansion is getting discarded. Then, so I would take, whoa. Okay, so I would take, well, I do take 2 damage. So I'm down to 10. However, oops, let's flip these around. I have Bishop's Uniform, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 resource cards in my hand. So I will heal 1 damage from Bishop for each resource in my hand. I can only heal back up to 12, so I can only heal 2, which is fine. But now, because he attacked and damaged me, I have to discard a random card I control. And I believe there are 6 cards in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, there are. So I will use my lovely little D6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3. So that's this one. Oh, of course it would be the 1 card that I was going to be able to play this turn. That's not great. Okay, so... Well, that being the thing, I'm gonna use strength to play... Or no, I can't. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I still need to do my encounter cards. So I've got one, and then I draw another one, so let's see what this is. Homo Superior, attached to a minion, and give it a tough status card, otherwise this card gains Surge. There's no minions, so this card surges into a Gang Up! The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. So he's going to attack me again. I'm just going to take the hit. 2, 3, and attach this card to a minion and give it a tough status. Again, no minions, but he's attacking me for 3. So I will take 3 damage, and I can't... I've used his uniform already, so I can't heal. So we're at 9 hit points, and I have to... Well, I don't have to, but I'm going to. We're going to discard 1, 2, 3. Okay, so all of these come to my hand. And then this is Pyromaniac. When revealed, Pyro activates against you. If he's not in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Pyro minion and reveal him. Oh, I'd never noticed there's a typo on this card. Notice it says and after minion. I hate when I do that. I'll catch myself doing that where I'll actually I'm typing something and I'll accidentally repeat a word. I don't know why that happens. Alright, we gotta go find Pyro. Well, there's Blob, there's Avalanche. Okay, where are you, Pyro? There you are. Alright. So, this isn't gonna... I'm not gonna have to deal with him much until the next turn, because it's already past attack and he doesn't have quick strike, so... But after Pyro attacks you, discard the top 2 cards of your deck, take 1 indirect damage for each printed resource icon discarded this way. Yeah, Pyro is nasty. His villain version in this is very much the same as this, and it's... I played against it, and it's not a good time. Alright, so we gotta start taking Toad down. I wanna get Toad out of the way. Oops. Alright, so Band Together is functionally useless. It doesn't have any resources on it, and it doesn't generate any resources without any allies, which I don't have. Which is crazy, because I have so many in this deck. Seriously, this deck has 12 allies in it. 12. And I haven't drawn any, like, to just have in my hand. The only ones that have come through, I've had 2 allies, Domino and Pixie. This is wild. They're all, like, I feel like I'm getting front-loaded on my, on all of my resources, and then, like, the back end of this is all going to be my allies, which I'm then not going to be able to pay for, which is not great. Man, both power of leaderships, both effective leaderships. Oh, this is just not great. Alright, so now it is my turn. I am going to... I'm going to use Command Authority to remove 3 threat. It's just 2, so I'll just remove the 2 threat from there. I did, if you pay for this event with a resource card, which I did because I paid for it with strength, I get to draw a card. Let's see, what do I get? Sunspot! Okay, that's useful. Alright, so then that goes to discard. I can play Sunspot, which is actually perfect. Okay. So we're going to use a power of leadership and an effective leadership. So power of leadership is going to give me 2 because Sunspot is a blue card. And then after you play Sunspot from your hand, choose a player, deal 1 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with the chosen player for each energy resource used to pay for Sunspot. Well, these are wilds. These are giving me wilds, which I'm going to choose to say are energy. So I'm paying for him with 3 energy, which means Pyro is going to take 3 damage. And Toad is also going to take 3 damage. So Toad is down to 10. Alright. And as a bonus for using effective leadership to help pay for Sunspot, that ally gets +1 thwart and +1 attack until the end of the phase. So Sunspot can attack for 3, which is great. So these are going to go to discard. So I'm going to have Sunspot. Why am I exhausting things? I have my tokens right here. Alright, so Sunspot is going to exhaust and he is going to attack. We're just going to send him after Toad. So Toad takes another 3. He's down to 7. And then he's going to take a consequential damage for that. Okay. For supercharged, I could... You know, I actually kind of need to look into the wording on this because it says to place 1 counter charge here for each resource icon on that card. It's not resource icons generated by that card. I wish it had just said printed resources. Because that's what it sounds kind of like it means. I do need to get rid of some of these because I don't need them. Yeah. It's supercharged. I would like to put some stuff on supercharged. Okay, so Bishop is just going to attack Pyro. We're going to get rid of him. I don't want to deal with his shenanigans when he's attacking me. So, I think the supercharged, I'm just going to throw organizational support and effective leadership. So that's going to give me 2 more on here. So 1 more, and I'll have that +8 attack, which is nice. But I kind of want to keep the power of leadership, though, because it'll help me pay for blue cards. How many resources have I gone through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've already gone through over half of my resource cards, and that's just in the discard pile. This is 9, 10. So I've only got 5 more resource cards in here. Wild. I need to get his defense event, like, post haste. Okay, again, why am I exhausting? Okay, there we go. So, it'll be the end of my turn. I am gonna drop bands together. I'm just gonna discard it. I don't want it. I'm gonna keep power of leadership. So let's see what we draw. A weapon X. Cyclops. Okay, perfect. Beast. That's nice. It's 4, 5. Randall. Okay, so now we're getting into our allies. Alright. That's gonna go up by 1. Oh, now the question is, what do I want to play? Play Beast. Beast will get me a resource back, which would be nice. Alright, Toad is attacking. Man, it would have been nice if I could stun him, but with the steady, that's not all that great. I'm just going to take the hit. So he's going to attack for at least 2. 3. If the villain is Blob, give him an additional boost card for this activation. It is not Blob, but he is attacking for 3. So Bishop is going to take 3 damage. Down to 6. And then we discard 6 cards. Professor X. Energy conversion. That's the card I would like to get. Stored energy. Okay, so that's going to go back to my hand. I would really have liked to have been able to draw energy conversion. Okay, let's get these back in order. Okay, and then we're going to use Bishop's uniform. And I will only heal 2. But that's okay. Alright, and now I have to discard 1 random card from my hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's 6 again. We'll use the die. 3 again. Okay. Stored energy. So unfortunately, I am not going to be able to play as much as I would have liked to. Like, it would be nice to get Randall out. I would really like to get Beast out. And Cyclops is another one that would be really nice. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so we gotta draw our encounter card. Under Siege. When revealed, place 3 threat on this scheme for each Brotherhood of Mutants character in play. So this is gonna get just 3 threat on it. Okay. Oh no. The house is burning. Alright, so we do need to get rid of that. Randall would be very useful for that. But, well, let's see, Beast would also be useful, plus Beast would get me a resource card back. So we're going to use the power of leadership, since it is now my turn. We're going to use Weapon X. And Randall, I guess. So that's 4 resources. Or, yep, 4 resources to play Beast. And after Beast enters play, find a resource card and add it to your hand. So we're going to go find... Oh, I could do Band Together. Unfortunately, that's still not going to give me enough because Cyclops costs 3 and I've only got 2 allies in play. Organizational support. I could use organizational support. Exhaust both Sunspot and Beast to bring in Cyclops. Because organizational support... no, actually Sunspot won't work because Sunspot is X-Force. Never mind. That won't work either. Let's just get a stored energy, I think. Or no, not a stored energy. I'll get... Unfortunately, this is spend and this is discard, so that doesn't help. I mean, I guess effective leadership. I don't know that it really matters. That'll just come back to my hand. I'm going to use effective leadership of just discarding it to add another +1 to supercharged. I can totally take out Toad right now. That would be a little bit overkill, I think. Maybe I should save supercharged for the next villain. Because this, again, it's going to give me +8 attack. I've already got 2, so I'm attacking for 10. And Toad only has 7 hit points left. So, probably not the best idea. That would just be like way overkill, so I'm not going to do that. I do want to get rid of this though. So I think I'm going to use Beast. Oops. Again, we'll exhaust Beast. So he takes 1 consequential damage. It's going to take 2 off of Under Siege. And then I'm going to have Bishop just take the other one off. So Under Siege is gone. Let's see. I might as well have Sunspot just attack Toad. And that'll put him down to 5. Okay. And then Sunspot will take a consequential damage from that, and that will actually, I forgot Sunspot only had 2. Oops, so Sunspot is gone. But Beast is still here, so if I need somebody to block for me, Beast can do it. That will be my turn. I can't do anything else, so I've got Cyclops in hand. So we will ready. Draw, let's see what we pull. A Mutant Mayhem. Concussive Blast. Triage. Oh, Triage would be helpful. And Caliban. Yep, so I'm drawing into all my allies now with no resources to pay for them, that sucks. Alright, Atrium is going up by 1. Toad is attacking. And I'm just... I don't want to take the hit because I don't have any resource cards here. So I'm going to throw Beast in the way. So he's attacking for 2, 3, and exhaust a character you control. That means Bishop's getting exhausted because Beast is exhausted. So there goes Beast. And his thing triggers, so after Toad attacks and damages a character you control, discard 1 random card from your hand. Okay. I don't even remember what order I had these in anyway, so the shuffling doesn't even help. Okay, there's only 5, so I guess I'll re-roll on a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. And of course it's the one that I wanted to play, Triage. Yep, that sounds about right. Alright. Yeah, we gotta get rid of Toad. Alright, and of course he's attacking again. I can't block, I have nothing to use to block, so 2, 3, 4, so I'm taking 4 damage. Wow, this is not going the way I thought it would. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I drew 1. Wow, I guess I'll use Bishop's Uniform to heal for a whole 1. Okay. Oh, just exhaust that using that. Okay, that could have gone a lot better. Mute Mayhem is not going to help me. Caliban could be useful. Cyclops would definitely be useful, because I would like to jump down and he could take all the threat off of the Atrium. So I think that's what I'm going to end up playing. I could take Toad out. Yeah. I could. But let's see. Okay, so after the villain is defeated, if there are X villains in the victory display, the players win the game. So if there are 2, there would only be 1, so we have a Highlander situation. So the game would just continue. I don't even know if that reference made any sense, but I made it. Okay. Otherwise, deal each player an encounter card and reveal the next villain. If a minion with the same title as the new villain is engaged with the player, discard that minion and the villain activates against that player. Okay, so that's not going to be an issue because we don't have any allies, minions in play. It's just a question of, will the next one be as bad or worse than Toad? Caliban will discard cards from the top of my deck until an X Factor, X Force, or X Men ally is discarded, and then I can add that to my hand. That might be the play. So let's do that really quick. We're going to use Energy and Mutant Mayhem to pay for Caliban. Okay, so those go to discard. And now I will discard cards from the top of the deck until an X Factor, X Force, or X Men ally is discarded. So Mayhem, Utopia, Children of the Atom, Cerebro. Oh, just watch me run through all of my allies already. Let's stay down. Wow, there's my rifle. Phoenix! Alright, so Phoenix is coming to hand. Well, at least I know where my rifle is. And when I jump down, I'm gonna actually go grab that. Alright, so Caliban is in play. I can't play any of these cards. These all cost 3. I only have 3 cards in hand. Man, I thought I shuffled pretty well. Apparently not. Oh, Cyclops would have been the better play, because he would have been able to take all the threat off of here. As it is, let's see. He can only do 2 damage to Toad, which would only take him to 3. It's not going to kill him. I probably should have played Concussive Blast and just taken Toad out. That's probably what I should have done. I'll use Caliban to thwart for 1 off of here. And then I'm going to flip over. I am going to use his ability to go grab my rifle. Or... oh! So this is hard because his rifle is temporal. Because he gets to add a temporal card in the discard pile to my hand. But what is also temporal are, where are you? These stored energy cards. And if I grab one of these, oh, let's see, Caliban should also take a damage. I can play one of these. So I actually could use Caliban. So I could get out Phoenix. And then she would ready Caliban and heal 1 damage from him. I'm exhausted as well. And then Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix could thwart off of that. And then Caliban could attack Toad. Man. If I'd just known. Yeah, I think having another ally out it would be useful, so I'm going to get the stored energy. Bring that to my hand. I'm just going to use that and Cyclops, unfortunately, to play Phoenix. So that's going to heal Caliban for 1 and ready him. I'll just have her take the threat off there, so she'll take a damage. And then Caliban is going to exhaust. He's going to attack Toad for 2. So Toad is down to 3, and he'll take a damage there. I don't know if I should hold on to this concussive blast. It seems like it would be very useful to have. So I think I will. Alright, so I will ready and draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's 5, 6. Okay. And of course I draw an energy conversion when I don't need it. Oh, hey, 9 down. Shadow Cat could be useful. Oh, it's only sort of. It's only sort of going okay. Almost all of my resource cards came out at the beginning of the game, and all of my ally cards came out in the middle, and the middle. And so now I'm running into not having enough resources to pay for my allies and do all the fun, crazy stuff that Bishop is supposed to be really good at. So it could be going better. But yes, I do have Toad down to 3, so that's definitely helpful. Alright, so this is going to go up by 1. Toad is scheming for 2, 3. Oh, and if the villain is Toad, give him an additional boost card for this activation. So 4, 5. So this goes up to 6. It pops at 7. Oh, it's nice to see Shadow of the Past gone, though. Oh, please don't be in advance. Off with his head! Each minion activates against the player it is engaged with. If no minion activates this way, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded and reveal that minion. Oh, please don't be Toad. Oh, it's Tweedledope. Okay. When revealed, you are stunned. If you were already stunned, discard and upgrade you control. So I am now stunned. Alright. I do need to heal. We have got to take out Toad. Yeah, it could be going so much better. But yeah, so Tweedledope is from that crazy gang that I was talking about earlier when I said that instead of doing the Mystique modular set, I decided to do Crazy Gang because I don't like the Mystique modular set. Very thematic, but also very not fun, at least for me. In the times that I played it, it just annoys me more than anything. So, Crazy Gang. Oh, now I gotta figure out. Well, Phoenix can definitely do some thwarting on the Atrium. I'm not going to be able to attack anything. I can't even do a To Me My X-Men because I have 1 card left and I'm fairly certain I don't have any I'm pretty sure it's not an ally. I could do a Concussive Blast for 6 damage. That would actually take out Tweedledope, but again, I'm stunned, so I would not be able to heal. I'd have to just flip up right now. Exhaust to attack and take away the stunned, and then play Concussive Blast. Oh, but then I could ready Bishop. So there is that. I don't know. Mystique, very thematic, but I don't enjoy playing with that modular set. And I think, isn't Mystique also Rogue's Nemesis minion? So, like, she basically has the same set as her Nemesis minion, or something like that. I need to look that up. I know they did that with Valkyrie and Enchantress. So the Enchantress set from... What did that come in? I believe it was Mad Titan Shadow. I think it was Mad Titan Shadow that came out in, and then Valkyrie had... Basically, it was the modular set. It was just... they renamed it to Valkyrie's Nemesis set. And it's nasty. It's so bad for Valkyrie. But I thought they did kind of the same thing with Rogue, but I haven't played Rogue much. Like, hardly at all. I think I played her a couple of times. I always play after I get the heroes, I always play them at least once. Rogue is one of those ones that I played, I think, just a couple of times, and I haven't really touched again. So I don't really know her Nemesis set. I do need to look that up, but I thought it was also Mystique. I just don't know if it's the same Nemesis set, or it's the same set as the Encounter modular set. So. Okay. Well, now I've got decisions to make. I definitely want to keep energy conversion because... Oh, or do I? Oh, this is horrible. Because I'm not gonna get... If I had stayed up and gotten attacked, I would have healed pretty much I would have definitely healed all the way back up to full, because I have one card in my deck. So 14, because the 15th is in my hand. So 14 resource cards would have been shuffled back into my deck, and then I would have been able to discard them for his ability on his hero side, and then I could have used Bishop's Uniform, because basically all of those cards would have just come right to my hand. And that would have been enough to heal completely full. Oh, so many decisions, because I also need to get rid of the threat here. Alright, well, I'm going to flip up. I'm going to exhaust to attacks so I can get rid of stunned. I am going to use stored energy to pay for, well, let's see, stored energy and to me my X-Men, to pay for a concussive blast to deal 6 damage to an enemy. That's Tweedledope, so we'll take out Tweedledope. And then, since I paid for it with a resource card, because stored energy is a resource card, I'm going to get to ready Bishop. Okay, so these go to discard. Phoenix is going to thwart 2 off the main. keep all of these. Bishop is also going to thwart 2 off the main. I'm going to have Caliban attack Toad. I'll take Toad down to 2, or to 1, sorry. Okay, hopefully I can get this under control. So everything is exhausted. I can't really do anything else. Oh, actually, with if I'd used energy conversion, I wouldn't have healed up to full, because you can't take more than 3 damage from the attack, and his ability is you discard the number of cards equal to the damage that you took. Yeah, so never mind, I wouldn't have healed up to full. Still, I would have had a lot of resources. Now I have none, and I can't play anything I really want to. Okay. Well, I'm exhausted. I can't do anything else. It would be really nice to play Shadowcat, but I can't afford it. I would really like to keep to me my X-Men. Energy conversion would be really nice, but yeah, so I think I'm going to keep these 2. This will keep me from dying, at least. Shadowcat is just going to get discarded. As I ready up and draw up. So there's the genius. Oh, there's 1 resource card. Okay, so I went through my deck, so I have an extra encounter card. Rogue is a hero that I need to spend more time with, because I always liked her as a character. And I can see interesting things happening with her hero. It's just I haven't spent the time to try to figure that out. One thing I find interesting is that I forget the name of that event she has that lets her go and grab cards out of another hero's discard pile. But I was looking, because, you know, she's got a team up card with Gambit, but if you want to get any hero card, like any hero events from Gambit, none of his hero events, she can't trigger any of his hero events. She can't play them, because all of them use his, the counters, the little card counters. I forget exactly what they're called, and he's the only one who has them, so I don't know. That's one I gotta figure out a little more. I just think it's interesting that, like, they have a team-up card. In the comics, they're a couple, at least at one point in time. And so you should be able to team them up, but they actually, like, their cards don't actually work well together. I gotta finish drawing, so there's 4, 5. Organizational support. This is just not working out as much as I would have liked to, because I don't have any of those support cards out, unfortunately. Alright, so this is going to go up by 1. Toad is attacking. I'm going to have to discard a card from hand. I am going to play energy conversion. So, actually, I could shuffle each resource card in my discard pile into my deck, but I don't have a discard pile. But, however, this means that I can't take more than 3 damage. Which, honestly, I don't think I would anyway, so I might not play this. I might actually just throw Phoenix in the way. Though I would like to be able to use his ability so I can use his uniform to do some healing. Oh yeah, Mystique is so bad. And just the rest of her kit is not great either with how it shuffles into your deck. Like, I don't remember the particulars of it, I just remember that I hated every time one of her cards ended up in my deck and then I would draw it into my hand. Oh, I hated it. Let's see. Well, I could take out... No. Because he's attacking me right now, so I can't really do anything about that. I mean, I would be healing for at least 2. Nothing has come out in the order that it should come out, unfortunately. So I could either throw Caliban in the way or Phoenix, but then I wouldn't be able to heal. You know, I think I'm going to throw Caliban in the way. I just don't want to take any damage, so 2, okay. So there goes Caliban. But because he attacked and damaged a character I control, I have to discard a random card from hand, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just re-roll 6, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Energy conversion. Okay. And now we've got 2 encounter cards. The Brotherhood, Hinder 2, and each Brotherhood of Mutants minion gains Quick Strike, so I gotta get rid of that right away, so it's gonna have 5 threat on it. Pyromaniac. When revealed, Pyro activates against you. If he's not in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Pyro minion and reveal him. So we're getting Pyro back. Oh, that sucks. Because now he's got Quick Strike, so he's attacking me. Alright, so he does have a 0 attack. However, he's also got, after he attacks you, discard the top 2 cards of your deck and take 1 indirect damage for each printed resource icon discarded this way. So that's not great. So that's my hand. Keep that over here. So he attacks for 0. I don't take any of the damage. Oh, and this is... the damage I'm taking is not an attack, so I can't even use his energy absorption ability. Wow, that's annoying. Okay. So that's 2. So I take 2 damage, I'm down to 3. Yeah, this is not going well. Alright, we gotta get rid of Toad. Toad has been a nightmare. Also, I really need to play to meet my X-Men. I can use Genius to play Command Authority. That's gonna remove 3 threat from his scheme, so I'll take 3 there. Then the Brotherhood, it's got 2 left. Phoenix can take the other 2 off. So that'll finish that. This is going to draw me a card after I play it. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to use Genius to play Command Authority. Take 3 off of Scheme. We did pay for that with a resource card, so I'm going to draw a card. It's an energy conversion. Surprise, surprise. Phoenix is going to thwart the rest off the Brotherhood, so that's gone, and Phoenix is gone as well. Bishop. I'm going to use an organizational support to play To Me My X-Men. Let's look at the top 5 cards of the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I guess it's Cyclops. So Cyclops is coming into play. These are getting shuffled back in. And Cyclops is entering play, so we can increase the amount of damage. We could choose an enemy and increase the amount of damage that they take from each attack by 1. I think I'm going to go after Pyro. I mean, this doesn't work either way. Toad has 1... Maybe I should just take out Toad, and then if the next one is Pyro, Pyro's going to activate against me, which will probably kill me, unfortunately, but man, I really need to heal. I'm in a horrible position right now. Yeah, that is true. Because he's calling To Me My X-Men and then it's Cyclops. Oh, it's so true. It's so true. Oh, that just makes me think of an episode of, what was it, Burn Notice, where they tricked a guy into thinking he had basically a whole army behind him to go up against, let's see, he was part of the mafia, and he was basically in charge of all the mafia's stuff in Miami. But they convinced him, because he'd done some stuff that ended up hurting a client of theirs, and so the main characters, they made the guy think, they made this mafia guy think that he had this whole army behind him, and put it into his head that he could basically take over for the leader of the mob up in New York for his particular family. And then they just left him there. When they like roll up to meet with the guy who was sent down to basically meet with him from New York. And, you know, he's got all his guys with him. And then this one guy, the Miami guy, thinks he's got this whole army behind him. And then they all just get in their cars and drive away and leave him there to basically eat a bullet. It's, that's kind of what this is reminding me of. Okay, so I got Cyclops in play. I really kind of want to just get rid of Toad. But I have a feeling that the next villain is going to be Pyro, because that's my luck. And if that's the case, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to live. Oh, I was recently rewatching Burn Notice. I love that show. I think there's like... I have three shows that I will consistently go back and rewatch. One of them I actually haven't watched in a while, but the other two I've rewatched somewhat recently, or I've been in the middle of rewatching somewhat recently. The first one is Frasier. I can rewatch Frasier endlessly. That show was amazing. All 11 seasons, I think I've seen over 10 times at this point. From beginning to end, I love that show. And then Burn Notice is the one that I've been watching really recently. And the other one is Third Rock from the Sun, which I haven't watched in a while, but it's one I've been thinking I need to get back and rewatch again, because that show is hilarious. Okay, let's see, what am I going to do here? I have this energy conversion in my hand. I really need to flip down and heal. Oh, Frasier is so good. Like, some of the stuff seems very dated, but overall, the series really does hold up very well. Niles is my favorite character. I love Niles. He's so funny. But kind of just the way that they play off each other, Kelsey Grammer and David Hyde Pierce, like as Frasier and Niles, is so good. And John Mahoney as the dad. Oh, he was great. And he was also in Burn Notice. He was management. Oh, Corner Gases. That's the Canadian one, isn't it? Like, is that the Korean one? Like the Canadian with the Korean family? Yeah, like, Frasier was just consistently good all the way through for all 11 seasons. It was so good, and I thought they ended it very well. Like, I think everybody had a very good send-off. Oh, if it's the one I'm thinking... It might not be the one I'm thinking of, but... Corner Gas, like, it just makes me think of... Okay, so I'm thinking of one that it's a Korean family that owns... They own a shop, and the dad is hilarious. And I forget what it's called, but Corner Gas immediately made me think of it. So it's something close to that. But it's got the son, the oldest son in that show, in the Korean show, is actually the actor who was in the Shang-Chi movie. Oh my gosh, Stargate though. I love the original Stargate. I haven't watched it in a very long time. I need to go back and rewatch it because, man, I love that show. Enough that I actually went to a couple of Stargate conventions. One in Vancouver and one when I was stationed in Germany. I found out that they were doing a convention that's kind of on the other side of Germany. And so I was able to actually go attend to that, and it was a lot of fun. I got to meet Christopher Judge. That guy is hilarious. Let's see. I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. So I could do additional damage to Pyro. I could just take out Pyro, but then I'm still stuck with Toad. But I think getting rid of Pyro is kind of important because, man, that attack is just terrible. Yeah, I watched a little bit of Atlantis. I didn't get into that one as much. I just loved, like, just the team of Captain Carter and Daniel and Colonel... oh my gosh, I totally forgot his name. Yeah, it was a good time. I had so much fun. At the Vancouver convention, I got to meet most of the cast except for what's his face, the lead actor, Richard Dean Anderson, because at that time he didn't do any conventions at all. Like, he just refused to go to any conventions at all, which was really sad. I need to figure out a good place to hang it in my house. I actually bought a poster, a big, really nice lithograph poster that was signed by the entire main cast of the original Stargate series. It's just, right now it's just kind of sitting in my closet because I have nowhere really to hang it right now. But yeah, that was how much I loved that show, is that I actually splurged on a lithograph poster signed by the entire SG-1 cast. Pyro, I think. Yeah, we gotta get rid of Pyro. So I'm gonna exhaust both Bishop and Cyclops. Cyclops, I'm just gonna say Pyro. All of this is gonna be overkill anyway. Not overkill as in the game mechanic, but overkill as in, like, he's gonna end up dying with, you know, two extra damage that can't go anywhere. But Pyro is gone. Cyclops takes a consequential damage. Yeah, it's a really nice poster. I haven't looked at it in a while because, like I said, it's been sitting in a closet, but yeah, I really need to find a place to hang that up. Because that was a big thing. I found out that was available, and I was like, ooh, I'm totally buying that. So I've got, like, the certificate of authenticity for it and everything. It's a really nice, it's a nice poster. Okay. I mean, I guess I'll keep energy conversion. I don't know. Because, yeah, this is not the greatest situation. I really need to get this down. I've got to get rid of Toad. I'm not going to keep energy conversion. Alright, so ready and draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I can work with this a bit. Pixie will definitely be useful. Who can I grab? I can grab Phoenix or Caliban. Cyclops is about to go away because he's going to have to block this hit. I'm not going to be able to take it. Alright. Yeah, I'm still waiting, as far as the dividers go, I'm still waiting for Tesseract to post the pre-order for this whole next wave, the Fear No Evil wave. I think my suspicion is that the reason it hasn't been posted yet is because they want to make sure that they know exactly how many dividers there need to be to get the pricing on it correct. And so until that happens, I'm not going to be able to, like, even pre-order. me and another guy, like, just to save on shipping, we're like combining our orders, so we're both waiting for that. Plus, I need to order the dividers for the Desperation box for Sentinels of the Multiverse, which is another game I really like to play. Unfortunately for me, that game I really need to play with other people because you always have to have 3 heroes in play at all times. And so when you're playing by yourself, like, just dealing with 3 different hero kits when you're trying to learn the heroes at all is really frustrating. So I had a really good experience a couple Saturdays ago. Well, so not this last Saturday, but the Saturday before, I think it was. I got together with friends and we actually, instead of playing Marvel Champions, we played, we were celebrating that Sentinels of the Multiverse is back and they're going to be producing more. There was like some stuff that went on and basically it was like, yeah, the game's not going to be produced anymore. But then some other things happened. Candelabra Games basically bought the company back, or not back. They bought the company Greater Than Games, which is who owns the IP Sentinels of the Multiverse, and then brought the original creators back on. So now, like, those guys are gearing back up to release the next box, because I think there were supposed to be 5 expansion boxes. And so I'm super excited about that happening, because they were only able to release 2 of the expansion boxes and the core box for the definitive edition. So yeah, me and my friends got together and we played that a couple weeks ago, and I really enjoyed the fact that I only had to concentrate on one hero, and I picked Fnatic for anybody who's played the game and was wondering which hero I went with. It was Fnatic. I really like Fnatic. So it was fun to just concentrate on her and not be trying to figure out how I'm going to run her while trying to figure out how I'm supposed to run these other 2 heroes, when I really just want to concentrate on running her. So it was like Fnatic. My one friend played Raw because she just wanted something super simple, and Raw is like as simple as it comes. My other friend wanted to see how they changed the Visionary. So he played as the Visionary in the second game we played. I forget which one he did in the first game we played. But he really enjoyed the new redesign of the Visionary. One guy played, oh, what is the name? It's the double hero that came in Desperation. Painstake and I forget what the other one is called. And then one other guy played Unity. Unity was the one that my one friend played first, and then he switched over to the Visionary, and then the other guy played Legacy. That's it, he played Legacy. So it was fun, and it's definitely a game I want to play more. It's just one of those games that I have to play with other people. You can technically play it solo, but it's just so much more enjoyable if you're playing it with other people. So we were celebrating that it was coming back. But anyway, Tesseract is also, they're doing vertical, because I actually asked them a while back if they would do vertical dividers for the game, because it does come with dividers if you keep all the cards in the boxes that they come in and store them horizontally. But the problem is that then you're storing things in multiple boxes, and when you could just store them in one big box, which, I have an extra box, but all the cards would be vertical. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to see if they'll do, if Tesseract will do the vertical dividers. And they were nice enough to design vertical dividers, so I need to get the Desperation dividers from them as well. So yeah, I've got like a couple of different sets of dividers I need to get from them. I did used to actually do my own dividers, and it was just such a hassle. And I was just like, you know what? I am willing to pay. I am willing to pay for dividers from somebody else. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to knock the camera around. Okay, let's see. So this went up. Toad is attacking. I really need to get this game finished. Alright, I'm just gonna throw Cyclops in the way. I can't really eat this attack, so it's gonna be 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that would have killed me. So Cyclops is gone. And then I have to discard a random card from my hand. Three, 4, 5. Okay, so 2. So it's gonna be this one. And of course it's to me my X-Men. Every time. Alright. So now we got the Crazy Gang. After a non-elite minion schemes against a player, deal that minion to that player as a face-down encounter card. Then, if there's more than one player in the gang, pass that face-down encounter card to the next player. So I don't have that. That's only got 2 threat on it. So, well. Let's see. I play Malcolm. I can play Pixie. Is there anybody else? 3 cost, 3 cost, 3 cost. They're all 3 costs, so I can't afford any of them. Oh, this is so terrible. I really just need to get rid of Toad. That's what needs to happen. So we can use stored energy to play Pixie. After you play Pixie from your hand, add an X-Men ally from your discard pile to your hand. So I can get Cyclops or Phoenix. Caliban is X-Force, so I can't grab him. I'm gonna grab Cyclops. And then this goes to discard. I cannot play Cyclops. I can't play anything because unfortunately Band Together is only giving me 1 resource right now. I think the Bishop. I'm going to do that. I can just exhaust Bishop. Alright, we're getting rid of Toad. We're going to take a chance here. So Toad is gone. Toad, and now we get Avalanche. So Toad goes under Save the School. Oh no, sorry, he goes into the victory display, so he goes over here. Let's see. So now we have Avalanche, whose name is not gonna fit on my little thing here. And he has, let's see how many hit points he has. 15. Oh, his name does fit. Oh, okay. I do need to get rid of this Crazy Gang. I'm gonna have Pixie thwart 1 off the Crazy Gang. So she'll take a consequential damage. I can't play anything in my hand. Yeah, everything is just coming out at the wrong time. This is not... This is all in the wrong order. I'm gonna drop Band Together. Like, Band Together is one of those cards I really, really want to like. Unfortunately, it always comes out at the wrong time for me when I don't have any allies out, and so then it's functionally useless. It's a dead card. I mean, it's one thing for a card to be unplayable because, like, for instance, let's say, you know, I'm playing with Phoenix and she's already got her, you know, or I'm playing with Cyclops and somebody wants to play the Cyclops card, but you can't because you're already using the hero Cyclops. But at least it actually has a resource on it. Band Together has no resources on it. It only generates resources if there are allies in play. So right now it's giving me one resource, and I mean it can be incredibly good because it will generate up to a maximum of 3 resources if you have 3 allies in play. So it can be really good. It's just keeping your allies in play, which for me right now is not going well because I am not getting any of the cards that I need in order to make that possible. So, I'm not going to be able to do anything, so I'm just going to get rid of Band Together. Malcolm would be nice to keep. The Cyclops I think is better, so I'm going to drop Malcolm and I'm going to hold on to Cyclops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's Bishop's Rifle, which could be helpful if I can draw into a bunch of resources. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 4 resources in my discard pile, 1 in my hand, so that's 10 more in here. Alright, so this is going to go up by 1. No, it's going to go up by 2, sorry, because Crazy Gang. So we're back at 6 hit points, or 6 threat on the Atrium. Not great. Avalanche is attacking. Oh, he's also got Tough. After Avalanche attacks you, exhaust an ally you control. Okay, so this isn't bad. So for this, I'm just going to throw Pixie in the way. So he's attacking for 3, 4, 5. Wow. Alright, so Pixie is gone. I hope he doesn't attack again. Protect the students. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally and adds it to their hand. Okay. So this is going to have 4th threat on it. And I can't take anything off the main until this is gone, which means that this is pretty much assured to pop. Alright, so if I play Cyclops and I attack, I'll be attacking for 11 because Cyclops is going to give the +1. So that'll get him down to 4. No, to 4. Yeah, 4. And then Cyclops can attack for 3. So he'll just have 1. If only I could get down Bishop's Rifle. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Dang, I can't. Yeah, I can't afford to do all the things I need to do. Oh, this is so bad. Since this is pretty much gonna pop anyway, I kind of think I should jump down, heal, and then because that, yeah, being at 3 hit points is not great. I think I should jump down and heal. That'll pop. It'll move on to the next one. Because Avalanche, I can almost take out Avalanche. Because I've also got to get rid of the Tough. That's the other issue. So, yeah. Man, this is not great. If I could get this down, I could, so using Bishop and Cyclops, I could take that down. Then it's a matter of which ally I want to add to my hand, because it's going to cost me 3 to play Cyclops. So this is going to give me 2, and then I'm not going to be able to play this, so that'll give me 3 to get me Cyclops, and then I've only got 2 cards in hand. So it's going to have to be a 2-cost ally. I mean, I could get Triage, and she'll heal me for 2 when she comes into play. She can get rid of the Crazy Gang. And yeah, that's still gonna pop. But then I could flip down. I won't be able to heal this turn because I'll be exhausted, but I could heal at the beginning of next turn, I think. But then I'm still having to deal with trying to get rid of Avalanche. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna use these to play for Cyclops. So probably not the best place, so those will just go to discard. We're choosing Avalanche for the sake of his into play thing, but that's not going to matter because we're not doing damage to him. So, I don't need to do that. I have exhausted tokens. Okay, so he's taking 2 off of Protect the Students. Bishop is going to take the last 2 off Protect the Students. And the player who defeated this scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally and adds it to their hand. So let's go find... no. Triage, there we go. Oh, it'd be nice to have Utopia in play right now, because then I could ready Bishop. Okay, so Triage is going to exhaust Thwart 1 off of Crazy Gang, which is going to get rid of that, and she'll take, or he'll take 1 consequential damage. I can't do anything else. I really want to hold on to Bishop's Rifle. Oh, and I healed 2. I remember that. I'm up to 5. I'm gonna flip down, add a temporal card in the discard pile to my hand. Okay, so that's good. Yep. That's actually helpful because now I can play, I can use stored energy to play Bishop's Rifle. So now I have Bishop's Rifle in play. And I guess we will ready, and I'm not going to keep that. That's not going to help it at all right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Alright, so this pops. This will go to the victory display. And then when revealed, flip this card. It's the basketball court. Each ally and minion gains toughness. Okay. When completed, add this scheme to the victory display. Advance to the next card in the main scheme. If there are 3 main schemes in the victory display. So if this ends up popping, we will lose. So this comes in with 1 threat. Avalanche is going to scheme. He's scheming for 2. Oh, good to see advance gone. So there's that. Brotherhood beatdown. When revealed, for each of the following enemies in play, Avalanche, exhaust your identity. Why? Okay. Blob, you are stunned. Pyro, take 2 indirect damage, and Toad, discard 1 random card from your hand, but none of those are in play. So just Avalanche. Okay. Let's see. I gotta take Avalanche out, and I gotta take him out now. I can definitely play Beast. I mean, to me, my X-Men would be nice. I do need to flip. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do anything, so there we go. This sucks. Like, I can't do a big attack, my big attack on Avalanche. I'll use Bishop's Rifle to ping 1 damage, or to ping the tough off of Avalanche because I only have 1 resource card in my hand. My cat is laying on my dog cot and he's like sleeping. I don't know if he's like tasting something in his dream because he's like very loudly licking his lips. Funny cats. I love cats. They're so crazy. I love both cats and dogs for different reasons. Like, dogs are so goofy and they're so happy to see you all the time. Like, outwardly happy to see you. Whereas cats, like, they are happy to see you, but it's mostly on their terms. Yeah, we'll see how the cards help. I don't know how they're gonna help, but alright, I am gonna play To Me My X-Men, so I won't stay down to play To Me My X-Men, so let's look at the top 5 cards here. Oh, there's a domino. Yeah, it looks like I'm taking domino. Okay, so domino's in play. Which is not terrible. Oh, except she's X-Force. I didn't even pull an X-Men ally, so Domino actually doesn't work. I just realized that. She doesn't count as an X-Men because I don't have Children of the Atom out, so that completely whiffed. Wow, that... Alright, Oh. Okay. It's not going to win me the game, but it's definitely going to help a lot. Oh, this is actually... Okay, so I could use... No, actually that won't work. Because I would need to use Professor X to help pay for Beast. Ah! Yeah, this is kind of annoying. Okay, so... I'll use Strength and my other copy of Supercharged to play Professor X. I'm going to use his... so after Professor X enters play, choose one. Confuse the villain, stun a minion, or ready an X-Men character. I'm going to choose to ready Bishop. I've still got Beast in hand. Might as well use Professor X to take the 3 threat off the basketball court. And then he'll take a consequential damage for that. Bishop is going to exhaust. We're going to pop Supercharged. So when you make a basic attack, discard Supercharged, you get +2 attack for this attack for each charge counter here to a maximum of +8 attack. So I had 4, so he's getting +8. He's attacking for 2 +8, so 10. So Avalanche is down to 5. So that's nice. I'd have Cyclops attack for 2, which will put him down to 3. And Triage can attack for 1. That would take both of them out. Which I think is fine. Because Professor X is here and he can help block. Alright, so yeah, these guys are both going to attack. So Avalanche is going to be down to 2. And then these are both gone. And now it's just Professor X and Bishop. And then I have Beast in hand. I'll keep Beast. So we'll ready. Oops. And draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Alright. Basketball court goes up by 1. Avalanche is attacking for 3. We're just going to throw Professor X in the way. Those need to go up there. So he's blocking 3, 4, 5. That takes out Professor X. We throw the man in the wheelchair in the way of danger. Okay, now Brotherhood beat down. Exhaust your identity, of course. Okay. Well, he's only got 2 hit points left. So I really I can play Sunspot and finish him off. So I can use Mutant Mayhem, Randall, and Effective Leadership to play Sunspot. Mutant Mayhem is an energy resource. Randall and Effective Leadership are both wild resources. I can just say they're energy resources. So that's 3 energy resources to pay for Sunspot. Avalanche will take 3 damage, so that puts him at -1. And then because I paid for Sunspot with Effective Leadership, he gets +1 to his attack. So we're gonna exhaust him just because we can to attack for 3. So Avalanche is at -4. So Avalanche is gone, goes to the the victory display. There are now 2 villains in the victory display, and I win. And next up would be Pyro. Oh. I don't like the Pyro villain. I don't like the Pyro ally. They're just terrible. Anyway, yeah, man, my cards were just not coming out in a great order. So normally with Bishop, if you get kind of like an even spread within his deck of all of his resource cards, like he really works well. It's just, man, I apparently shuffled very, very badly. Because everything was just coming out at the absolute wrong time or in just a very bad order. Trap card. Yeah, it's so I won, but it wasn't the greatest victory. I actually played this before and I did super well. Like I was actually able to get out a lot of the, like I had Cerebro out, I had X Mansion out. I didn't get Weapon X out. I had Children of the Atom out. And I think I actually also had Utopia out. Because I was able to, every time I played something, I was able to ready Bishop. And that was great. But yeah, this time I just couldn't get any of them out, which is unfortunate, so. I mean, it would have been nice to have Cerebro out really early, because then whenever either Phoenix or Professor X was on the table, I could use Cerebro to look at my entire deck to add an ally to my hand. If I was just using it without having any psionic characters in play, then it would just be the top 5 cards. But yeah, this Cerebro card would have helped a lot, because it would have helped me go grab the allies that I really needed when I needed them. But yeah, unfortunately things were coming out at the wrong time. I really like this Sunspot ally. Like, I want to play him in more decks. Because I just love, like, if you can pay for him with the 3 energy resources, every minion in front of you, if you're, if you choose yourself or, you choose somebody else, but every minion sitting in front of whoever it is that you choose, plus the villain, they'll take 3 damage. And that can be a lot of damage just by playing Sunspot. Plus, he's an ally, so, he gets his own attack, or he can thwart. So, yeah, we didn't get all the great stuff going with Bishop's uniform. And Bishop's rifle, man, I only got the one activation off it for 1 damage. It's really fun when you can actually get your resources going correctly, and you're doing, like, 4 damage with Bishop's rifle consistently. It's really great. And if you can, if you are able to play an energy conversion at the right time when your deck is really low, and it only has a few cards in it, it's crazy. Like, you end up drawing into so many resources that Bishop's rifle is just, it's hitting for 7 or 8 damage. It's so good. But yeah, for whatever reason, the deck was just not working with me today, unfortunately. I still won, but that was hard fought. Not great. Let's see. Next week, I'm definitely going to play an Echo deck. I'm not sure. It won't be the Precon, because I'm gonna play the Precon with her once, maybe twice, and then I'm completely deconstructing that deck and porting several of those cards over to a Nightcrawler deck that I want to build. Her whole kit, I swear, as far as the aspect cards, or just like the cards that aren't part of her hero cards, it looks like you could take all of those cards from that deck, from her precon, and just move them over to Nightcrawler, and it would work so well. So I've already started kind of figuring out a Nightcrawler deck, because I'm gonna do some different cards in that, and I'm changing some things up, but I'm definitely using quite a few of the cards from Echo's Precon with a Nightcrawler deck because it will just work so well. And I'd like to use it for a table defense type thing, or, you know, go up against a villain that does a lot of attacks, like multiple attacks per turn. I think that could be fun. Oh, maybe turn it into a taunt deck. That's a thought. Also, yeah, I don't know what villain I'm going to face. I don't know if I'll face one of the new ones from Fear No Evil, or if I'm just going to go with something older so that I can... something that I know a little better, just so that I can concentrate on learning Echo a little bit better. We'll see. But I'm definitely going to play Echo next week on the stream. And I'm thinking I'm going to go with an aggression build. I think that sounds the most fun. But yeah, anyway, I need to get ready to go to sleep. I did not get a lot of sleep last night, and today was kind of rough at work, so I still got to go to work tomorrow. Ugh, I don't want to go to work tomorrow, but such is life. Anyway, yeah. Oh, and if you haven't seen, so there are a lot of creators who were able to reveal the rest of the cards for Jessica Jones and Luke Cage's packs today. If you get a chance, you should definitely look for those. You can check the Reddit. Some of the videos have been posted there. Skilled Investigator, which is... he writes articles on a blog. Skilled Investigator has all the cards, so you can just actually go to that and just look at the cards if that's all you want to do. Villain Theory teamed up with some other creators, and they went over 4 of the new allies that were revealed. I haven't been able to watch that video yet, but it's Villain Theory, so I can definitely say it's almost certainly worth your time. Yeah, but if you don't mind the spoilers, like, when it comes to hero cards, I don't mind spoilers at all. I love seeing all the new hero cards and aspect cards and everything. I generally ignore everything about, like, villain stuff, because I want to be surprised when I play against the villains. I don't like feeling like I'm going into the fight already knowing what they're going to do. I like to, at least for the first playthrough, I like to go in blind. Leads to a lot of losses, but it's fun to just kind of see everything come out and surprise you. So I generally ignore any encounter card spoilers, but hero card spoilers and aspect card spoilers and basic card spoilers, I'll look at those all day. So, I mean, if that's something that you're into, you should definitely go check some of those other creators out. Like, I'm super new. I don't think I'll ever be big enough to be able to do reveals for anything, but yeah, you should definitely go check those cards out, because a lot of them look very cool, and I'm really looking forward to being able to use them in different decks. Yeah, beyond that, I think I should probably be heading off to bed. But if you enjoyed this live play of Marvel Champions, like, subscribe, leave a comment. You can also catch me on through email at caughtoffguard, like just all together, at proton.me. And that will also be in the description. But yeah, let me know any questions, any suggestions, like hero villain combinations that you would like to see me face off against. I just kind of randomly, like, I'll decide on a hero and then I'll just kind of pick a villain that seems like it would be fun that I haven't played in a while. So yeah, any suggestions, I'm happy to oblige. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. If you're getting your hands on Fear No Evil, enjoy. I know I will be. And here's hoping that while you're playing, you won't get caught off guard.